Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today I have one singular replay in the tier 10 German tech tree medium tank, the Leopard 1. Now I've only got the one replay for you today because this is a special replay and I go on to have an absolute crazy game, and the replay honestly deserved its own video. So here we are for this replay, and we are on Fisherman's Bay, where we do have two enemy fun police, two enemy artillery to contend with, but no enemy light tank. If you want to see the crew and equipment setup I run in this tank, you will be able to see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. But now I'm just going to move into a pretty standard position for a medium tank on Fisherman's Bay from this spawn. I essentially like to come up to this area, use the bushes and spot the cross and see if we can get any assistance or any early damage on the tanks crossing towards the town, as well as just giving ourselves a little bit of information. So we do manage to spot, two tanks or three tanks heading towards the town area, and we managed to pick up one shot of damage onto that enemy tier 9 Soviet heavy tank as he crosses, which was nice. But I do have to be a little bit concerned with where I am, just because the enemy artillery, I'm kind of expecting at some point they're going to start focusing us. We do get one shot into that Rogo Dawn there, but we eat one shot off of something which is, I'm guessing, on the ridge behind us. We didn't lose a lot of hit points though, so we're going to sort of move down to a different location. The Soviet heavy is now crossing towards, going deeper into the city, but we're able to use these ridge lines to actually get shots when they cross there. I'm kind of thinking this Rogo Dawn might make the same mistake, and I'm hoping he does, because if he crosses here I'm going to be able to get a few more shots in. Hopefully I can pick up one more shot before we get safe, and that will put us over the 2,000 damage mark already. So he put us onto a decent start to this game, but we are actually losing. We're 2 tanks down already in this game, and it kind of felt like I was doing okay, to be honest. But it looks like the enemy team are maybe winning the 1-2 area. We still have tanks there, so it's not. I'm not going to concern myself too much yet. I'm going to try and get as much shots as I can into these tanks in the town. We do have shots on these enemy tier 9 M103 American heavy tank there, and I think he's supported by a Type 5 as well. So I'm going to try and focus out those tanks at the moment, because I need to win one area, because if we do lose the 1-2 line, which it kind of looks like we're going to, I'm going to want to at least try and win the town area, and that will give us a little bit of somewhere to fall back to. I don't want to get completely pincered, because if we lose the 1-2, I am going to have to move from this location, or they will have 3 shots into the side. But right now I'm going to get as much in as I can before that happens. I've almost finished off the M103 there, put him onto a 1 shot. Thankfully I haven't really eaten too much from the enemy fun police, although he did just shoot at us there, so it is something I'm worried about. But I get a shot into the M103, finishing him off, putting us onto 4,000 damage with 1 kill. And so far it's still a very, very close game, 10 versus 11 here. But you can see we're not quite lost the 1-2 line yet, but it is looking like that's going to be imminent to happen. I'm going to try and see if we can finish off this Type 5 before that happens, if I can. He's still got a few, over half his hit points left, so we're trying to squeeze in some shots. We do put one in, which puts us on to 5,000 damage. We're still 11 enemy tanks left to deal with. We've got lots of potential for damage in this game, but we are losing, as you can see. The enemy team have the tank advantage at the moment. Going to try and finish off this Type 5. I'm looking for a shot, because I don't want to get dirked by this Type 5. That wouldn't be very nice in my Leopard, because obviously I really don't have any armour. But he does get put onto a 1 shot. We're able to finish him off, putting us onto just shy of, just shy of 6,000 damage, I believe. Or just shy of 6,000 damage with 2 kills. And 7 versus 6, so still a very, very even game. Going to try and get one shot into this enemy medium tank there. We actually damage his engine or his fuel tank there. But now I need to fall back, because you see we have now lost the 1-2 line. These enemy tanks are going to start crossing towards our base. I want to put myself into a position to get as many shots in as I can before they push too close to us, and then we're going to have to retreat. But whilst I've still got my friendly artillery alive in this game, I want to give him every opportunity to land a big shot at these tanks. I'm going to try and cover my one remaining medium tank in that location. We tried to finish off the Action X, wasn't able to. Unfortunately, my medium tank here, is going to get taken out. Not much I can do about that. I get one shot of damage in. I'm going to try and get as much out as I can. I'm kind of fully aware that I'm going to have to leave this location, but I managed to get 2 shots in that undetected. I'm probably going to be able to get one more shot into this Death Star, but this shot I'm going to get spotted for, so I'm going to have to leave immediately. We eat 1 shot, which I guess was from the action acts there, but we pick up a bit of assistance on to that enemy Death Star for tracking them in place. But now I've got to get out of there. I've got to get out of dodge. We're on about 7,000 damage with, I think, almost 2,000 assistance now with 2 kills. Very, very close game. Again, we're losing. You know, we've kind of been like losing all the way through this game. We've kind of just been clinging on. You know, enemy tank do have a 2-tank advantage at the moment. I've got to try and get out of there. I can't really stay where I was. My plan is I get here as fast as I can, try and get back to this mid-ridge location, and then get some side shots into these tanks as they move into our base. So we put ourselves in a position, so we've got concealment bonus by shooting through these bushes and trees here. We get 1 shot into that enemy heavy tank, putting them onto a 2-shot to us, allowing us to finish him off there for our 3rd kill of the game. And then we finish off that Death Star, which quickly brings to the numbers back. We are still losing though, 4 versus 5, even after all of that. But we're on 8,500 damage, and I'm thinking at this point what's going through my mind is, yeah, I could get 10k damage here. You know, I'm really not far away. I've just got that shot and put us onto 9,000, but it's still 3 versus 5. You know, I keep bringing these tanks back into the game, and then we're losing tanks, and it's been a tough fight, to be honest. But it's also been one of those games which has been fun because of that reason. Like the games you have to try on, I've always said, are a lot more enjoyable to play than those kind of waffle stomp games where one team just stomps the other, or vice versa. These games where it's close and you have to try, a lot more fun. So my plan is now I'm going to move from that location. They know where we were. Enemy team have applied cap pressure, but so have we. So they're probably going to either jump into our cap circle, or we're going to go back for the reset. At least some of the tanks are. My plan is to try, whilst I've still got a lot of time on the clock, I've got time to try and find a better location to try and shoot, which I presume is the Jag Tiger in the cap circle, because that was the tank which was capping earlier. So I can only imagine it is that tank in the cap circle. It's a slow tank, so it's not one that wants to run around the map. I wasn't expecting to spot the artillery there, I must admit, but we do. We get a shot into him, and it looks like the artillery is running, and he actually might give us another shot at him here. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to get spotted for pulling this trigger, but I want to get the shot in because it puts the artillery onto a 1-shot there, and puts us just shy of that 10,000 mark. But now I need to concentrate on getting this reset. I do have 40 odd seconds left on the clock, so I've got more than enough time to get that reset. But then an enemy QL gets spotted. I do take him out, which is really good, but unfortunately he snapshots that shot into us, and I lose half my hit points. So I am down to 600 now, but now I need to get that reset. It's only 20 seconds left on the clock. That's my priority at this point. Get the reset, give myself more time in this game, and then I can move to a better location. We do spot the tank. We outspot him in the cap circle. Leopard's got really good concealment. I just need to find a way. I know I can't miss that shot. Thankfully, I don't. I pen the shot, which is good news for us, because now we've got loads of time left in the cap circle, and it puts us above the 10,000 damage mark. So my plan is now, let's go and kill the enemy artillery, because our friendly AVRE has finished off the Action X on the enemy team, which is good. Now it's only 3 tanks remaining, and I have the advantage of knowing where all those 3 tanks are. We know exactly where the artillery is, which is why we're going to head there to try and finish him off. We know where the other tank is, the Jag Tiger is, because he's capping, and the enemy heavy tank got spotted in the middle. So we're just going to kill this enemy artillery, then we can get the reset. He was looking for us, but he was on a 1-shot. We finish him off there, bringing us our 6th kill of the game, and put us close to 11,000 damage now. The enemy heavy tank, the Polish heavy tank, is pretty much full health. So we've got a big opportunity for damage here. I was hoping I wasn't going to get spotted there for shooting through the bush. I do get lit, but I don't get any damage. It's fine. And we put him onto a 1-shot. Put us over 11,000 damage. I'm just going to finish off this Jag Tiger now, and that will eventually put us into a situation where we are actually winning the game and we have a tank advantage on the enemy tank. So we finish off this kill, get the big kill in, and now we're going to pull back into cover here because we just want to try and lose our spot. We get targeted for poking there, so we know that the enemy Polish heavy tank is somewhere along the mid ridge line. I should be able to outspot him though, and I'm going to try and do exactly that. So now I've lost my spot, I'm just going to try and use these kind of like hut as a bit of protection, try and get some shots in. He does get spotted. This Leopard gun is honestly fantastic. You know, you hit shots like that because you've got lightning shell velocity. It's one of the highest shell velocities in the game now, and obviously this gun is fantastic. Put 2 shots into him, putting us close to 12,000 damage now. I just need one more shot of damage for the 12,000 mark. And yeah, I've already got 7 kills as well. We do pick up this kill, it'll be a Radley, but I'm not going to take any chances of closing this tank down because I don't want to take a risk after a lot of work, let's be honest, on this game. We get the last shot in. Unfortunately, we don't roll high enough to finish him off. Our friendly Avery does take him out and confirms the kill. And that puts us on to just shy of 13,000 damage with 7 kills. 2,200, over 2,200 base XP. Obviously, the ace tanker, 2,000 assistance, get the defender medal. Yeah, a fantastic game for the Leopard there. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making that video. So as always, thank you for your amazing support and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!